Welcome to this energy healing oracle reading where we're going to focus on a few different topics. I'm trying to get this centered. I'm not in my normal location today. Maybe there, maybe right about there. Sure, we're going to leave it right about there. So as we're coming in, if you want to let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Hello, Brandy. So, feels like we're going to maybe have a smaller group today. Interesting. So, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and it's Black Friday. Oregon. Yeah, so as you're coming in, let me know where you're tuning in from. And then for those of you that might be new, my name is Bree. I'm going to be pulling some cards for us today and just giving us some gentle spirit messages today. And there's 3 cards actually from a deck that I haven't worked with in a really long time, at least here. 3 cards popped out. This is from the Alana Fairchild White Light Oracle, and the artwork is, I think it's Andrew Gonzalez, I want to say. Let me see if I can figure out the artist, because I want to pay homage. Yes, it's Andrew Gonzalez is the artwork. But 3 cards popped out, and I feel like we're going to maybe read some of the messages. I know I got started a little bit early, a few minutes early. The 3-Eye Atlas video and the monad. Wow, yeah, I know. That was a lot, actually, to be honest, to process. Yeah, let's talk about the monad a little bit. So, I've tuned into the monad in many different ways. We all have a monad. We all have a connection point, or we can even call our monad a layering body, which is a little bit new to grapple with as a concept, but it is the truth. So we have all of these many layering bodies of our oversoul, and the monad, I would say, I don't want to channel this. I just want to speak to it from myself so that it can actually have some tangibility. The monad to me feels like the enmeshment point that we have that is almost, it's in between, I'm going to call it, our enmeshment with source and our, I'll call it existence in the physical realms. That's how I'm going to describe this. There's many ways to describe the monad, but one of the main things that my guides have really been kind of working with me on a very soft, tangible level on is that these bigger concepts, things like the oversoul, the monad, these 2 main concepts, they almost fall apart when we make them a concept. It's kind of tricky like that. So these are terms, areas of exploration for us in our consciousness that we should have a gentle touch with, a gentle grasp on, because as soon as we start to, you'll feel that part of you that really wants to understand, like, what is an oversoul? What is a monad? That's the mind or the ego that really wants to define. Okay, we're going to get started with the cards because it's 9 o'clock. And some comments are being filtered. So if I don't see your comment, just know it's not because I'm judging you. It's just because TikTok has some features that block some things, probably keywords. So for this one, I'm sensing that this is really weird. Some of you might want to have a beverage for this one, like a hot beverage or your morning beverage. Maybe it's whatever you're drinking in the morning, non-alcoholic, hopefully. whatever you have in the morning, what I'm seeing is that as we're getting these messages, you might feel one kind of assimilating and acclimating within you, and taking a sip of whatever your beverage is will kind of help to like, okay, lock it in, ground you, especially because when we're getting some of these messages, let's say from, if my guides are telling me right now that the people that come to this space are pretty comfortable up through the 7th dimension. I'll just be forthright and very open with all of you today. They're showing me to the 7th dimension, it's okay. Like, you all can handle to the 7th dimension. But same thing with me. This happens to me. If I start to try to take my consciousness outside the seven densities, the 7 dimensions, that's when things start to get a bit stretchy. And that's when you're going to really have to, okay, because my guides are showing me some of you are doing this. You're experimenting with your multidimensionally channeling, and you're trying to get information from, like, let's say the 12th dimension, and you're kind of struggling. It's because you'd be better off, how do I be as like practical as I can with this? You're better off going deeply within your heart and just channeling from there. Because what they're showing me is that a lot of you, they're showing me stretching. They're showing me a lot of you are trying to like reach or stretch, or you think this is something really separate from you or like outside of you or unreachable to you. And I'm going to be honest, the 7th to the 12th dimension kind of is. It's going to take some real delicate nuance for you to get okay with channeling from those realms and then getting back in the physical. So the guidance is really for those of you that are maybe new in your channeling. I don't know why this is coming up. Hopefully this is resonating with you because the Akashic Records are open. They're telling me start with you. Okay, this is the Akashic Records guides. Give me a moment. I see. Okay. I'm just letting this come through and then I'm going to explain it. I see. Okay, this is so much. I'm going to try to break it all down. First things first, if you're channeling or if you're dabbling in channeling, start out for you. This is coming in very loud and very clear. If you're doing any channeling, please do your channeling at first for your, like, get your life down. Like, get your 3D, like, life down first. Because what they're showing me is, and I definitely did this, I 100% did this, I 100% did this. But they're showing me that, like, a lot of you are trying to channel these messages, like, for the collective. But your life isn't together. Like, your finances, like, aren't there. Or maybe your physical health isn't quite stabilized. Or relationships are really messy. So if any of that stuff is true, and then we're trying to channel high dimensional messages from the Akashic Records, the 12th dimension, the High Council of Light, whatever, it's not going to be connective. It won't be a fabric. See what I'm saying? So the chosen, I think they're talking to you a little bit too. They're just showing me that some of you are doing this thing where you unconscious. Okay, it's unconscious. This is very, okay, I see what's happening. Some of you have the ego structure. I see what's happening now. Okay, some of you have this ego structure. Go with me. Your ego structure, your belief data bank. And that belief data bank is telling you things like, you have to be giving all the time. Some of your egos are, I'm reading your egos, for those of you that maybe gave permission in your higher self for this, but your egos are saying things like, this is the energy I'm getting, that you're very empathic. This is a collective reading, but it feels like they're speaking to some of you very particularly. They're saying that because the ego field is so programmed to be selfless, like your ego is so programmed to think that the only way to be honorable in life, or a good-hearted person in life, or a good person in life, the only way for you to do that is if you are 100% of your time giving, 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 doing things for the collective, serving, 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 doing, 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 serving, 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 because you have this belief that you're conscious of that says to you, you're not allowed to have anything for yourself. You're not allowed to get to know yourself. You're not allowed to channel for yourself. You can heal others beautifully and you're fine, and that's fine, and you feel fine about that. But taking the 20 minutes to heal yourself, you're guilting yourself. You're shaming yourself. Stop that. The Akashic Records guides are coming in to give you a permission slip and say, hey, you don't got to do that anymore. And actually, all the people in your life that you feel match that ego field and will start hating you and judging you, if you start loving yourself and caring for yourself, okay, well, maybe their ego will get an upgrade too eventually down the line. So this is the message from the guide saying, give yourself the permission to get this situation of you and your life in alignment and feeling good for you. You're allowed to feel good. You're allowed to feel good when you're channeling from the Akashic Records. You're allowed to feel good when you're healing and you're offering your healing either collectively or individually. You're allowed to feel good with this, okay? It's allowed to be enjoyable for you. You're actually safe to express your gifts and to go into your gifts and have them benefit your life and allow you to be financially free and abundant and making your own decisions and having sovereignty. You're allowed to have all these things. What's the other things? Okay, let me see if I got everything from that portion. No. Okay. Escapism. I see. So some of this with the channeling, for those of you that are, I want to say like amateur that's not the right word. If on this linear timeline of life that you're living, you only started playing with your channeling or you became aware of your channeling, let's say within the last year, that feels pretty recent. If it was within the last year, it's still pretty fresh for you. It's still pretty new for you. So they're telling me that sometimes when we start channeling and we haven't channeled before, it can become, they're showing me Lee Harris, because I guess he's channeled about this. I don't think I've ever heard him say these messages. They're saying that it's transmissions he brought through that I didn't listen to. But one thing that he's delivered, the Z's have delivered through Lee Harris, is this reminder that your channeling isn't to be used as an escapism. So sometimes that can happen. If our basic, everyday human life isn't in alignment and there's a lot of mess, the channeling can get tempting to be an escapism. And it's not, that won't help you. That part won't help you. It'll feel fun. But it won't help you. Okay, let's get to the cards. So we have the white light. It's interesting that I called this Gentleness transmission, and I feel like so far the messages have been pretty no BS. They've been pretty much like, no, we're going to say that what is needed to be said, but we're going to say it in a gentle way. So we have this. I'm going to start by reading this one. This is what my guides are showing me. My clairaudience is way up today. People ask me all the time, like, how my gifts work. They're all over the place, but sometimes they're really strong in certain facets. Yes, I did. I went to University of Iowa. Gentle but direct. Yes. Made really poor decisions during that period of my life, but we've matured. People say, like, I remember you. I'm like, from what stage of my life? 145. I've always been fun and sweet, though, and loving, just so you know. I just sometimes got too fun, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. I really have matured. I've come a long way. I'm not binge drinking all the time like I was at University of Iowa, you know what I'm saying? I worked at the Summit. Anyone been to the University of Iowa? I worked at the Summit there. I loved working at the Summit. I really had a lot of fun there. I had so much fun there. Okay, I had fun working, which was kind of crazy, right? Of course, I was drinking, so it wasn't like very pure, if you know what I'm saying, but I made a lot of tips. I was making more money at the University of Iowa working at the Summit than I am as a healer, which is very hilarious. Anywho, without any force, you can overcome even extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You do not need to become something you are not. A lot of you need to hear that again. You do not need to become something that you're not. And also, your higher self is not something you're not. Your higher self is something you are, and you're getting more in touch with that. You can confidently and effectively invoke spiritual protection from the light. You can never be dominated or bullied at a spiritual level, because the real you is always empowered and protected in light. So let's tune into this for a second. The real you isn't the you that has learned to protect itself so powerfully and put on masks. The real you is empowered. That's the real you. So the real you knows who you are. The real you feels confident to speak your truth. The real you has no concern of how anyone is receiving you. Some things can only happen when we let go at the deepest inner level. Regenerative healing is one of them. Shamans of old understood that to obtain transformational awareness, one has to sever themselves from the world as one knows it, to unlearn what one once knew, to be reborn. In that rebirth, a new understanding and vitality, clarity, and purpose can emerge. The shamanic realm is the realm of the delta brainwave, the state of deep sleep. I'm feeling a lot of dots connecting for all of you. Here, one is completely unconscious. Okay? There is temporary paralysis at this level, which allows for the deepest healing and renewal. Here, the gateway to the universal mind is entered, and the precious recalibrating treasures of healing are gained. In Delta, we surrender completely to a great and powerful intelligence far beyond our understanding. At 0 hertz to 4 hertz, delta waves are the slowest and most stabilizing of the brain waves. I'm seeing some of you might be oscillating in brain waves in this session, so let's make sure that we're not driving or operating machinery. This is the state in which the body recovers from injury, and the brain has a chance to check off its list of deferred repairs and healing and restore optimal function. This includes the capacity to learn and the healthy functioning of the immune system, physically and also emotionally. And then I'm also showing, remember that the emotions are very, very entangled with your physical body. Okay? So we are not contaminated or confused by the emotional or psychic workings of the world around us. This oracle brings guidance that the healing you need cannot come from logical sources, but requires a deep letting go and restructuring from within. Let's take a deep breath. This is a powerful message. Really powerful. It's even shifting me a little bit. Woo! 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 Consider what practices and people could help facilitate this process in your life. Consider how you may value and encourage deep restorative sleep and regulative retreats as part of your lifestyle. I'm just going to throw this in here. One thing that the guides say through me a lot is sometimes the thing that you all need is this pattern interrupt from your everyday life. So it's not that you need a big, super luxurious vacation, but you might need just a little bit of time away from your everyday, especially with some of you that are maybe working from home. I'm seeing like a lot of layering in the spaces that you are the most. Like I'm seeing your relationships are there, like your food is there, your laundry is there, like all the house cleaning is there, maybe kids or family, or everything is kind of stacked right now in the way that we're living our lives. So it's important for us more than ever right now that if you're feeling out of touch with yourself or your heart song or what is truly meaningful to you, it's possible what you need is a little unplug from that every day. The Greek nymph Tegeti, I could be saying this wrong, Tegeti, called upon her beloved goddess Artemis to protect her from unwanted advances from a powerful suitor. In response, the goddess transformed Tegeti into a doe, so she would be safe from harm. Definitely saying it wrong. Well, that was kind of rude. Drink too much last night? Teget teaches us that we can become vulnerable like the gentle deer in the spiritual sanctuary of our devotion, protected by a greater source. Also, I don't know why I said that. I'm an Akashic Records reader, and sometimes I read things. Sorry if you're hungover. Drink some water. Then, there is no need to become aggressive or harsh to defend ourselves from the aggression of others. This is so powerful. We can let go and allow ourselves to be held. You're doing TED Talks and you're acting like that? Good luck to you, Sonny. Maybe that's why I don't like TED Talks. We can let go and allow ourselves to be held. This is a way to ward off negativities. We should probably read that person's name because I'm going to post this publicly. I'm so sick of this stuff. TED Talks 11, TEDTALKS 11, who just comes into people's lives and is just a jerk for no reason. Anywho, even if you are dealing with intense negativities from a particular powerful opponent, Deer of Delta encourages you to call for spiritual intervention with complete confidence in the grace that will instantly and consistently be bestowed. If you have been advised to toughen up, you are encouraged to instead remain true to yourself and find your strength within. Also, I know for a fact that that person was drinking last night because I could feel that they were. That's so funny. This is when the gifts are fun. This is when the gifts are fun because you're trying to offer like a live collective thing, and then like your guides show you information. Introducing space to even your emotions allows light to come in. Okay. Being guided not to do the healing process because it feels like this deck is one that would really resonate with a lot of you. So if you want the healing process from the Delta card, I would strongly encourage you towards this. Alana Fairchild. Okay, let's see. Let's take a break, take a breath, one of those times, my lesson is learned, because this is one of those times, like when I'm doing this kind of stuff, I just have to turn the comments off. This is what I'm finding. I have less and less and less tolerance for individuals who have no common decency. I'm getting less and less tolerant of it. I am very loving. However, when someone has been hijacked by their own ego and they're just creating mess everywhere they go, throwing those grenades into every room they go into, I just no longer have tolerance for it. I just don't. Just so you all know, because I know that a lot of you do come kind of consistently, and I love that. I really do. I love that you feel safe here. I love that you feel compelled to come back here. And I want to keep it a safe space, you know? So I'm just being very clear about the fact that I won't tolerate that anymore in my life from anyone. Okay, so we have 2 more cards, and then I'm going to do a little bit of the Starseed Oracle. Time is being so weird today. I am. I'm looking out for everyone. It's not just me I'm looking out for. It's like I don't want those energies in the space. It just, it's like tampers the space. Because then I sense too, it's like I sense when people do that, I sense people in the audience that like want to protect me and they want to like come to bat for me. And it's like, I don't want you to have to be doing that here. I don't want you to be my bodyguard here. You know, I want you to be able to relax, enjoy the space. Time has been so weird this whole dang year, it feels like. And yesterday in particular, Heather, me too. It was very weird, very weird. Have you read Alana Fairchild's book on angel numbers? No, I haven't. But I've read all of the books I have right now, so I'll be getting some new books soon. Right. Right. Okay, so my nose is running. We must have the fairies in here. Yeah, there's definitely some fairies in this room. I haven't been in this room in a while. The fairies really like this room, I think. Okay, so we have Oracle of Chaldea. I'm probably saying this one wrong too. Where's the next party that wants to piss off Bree today? I actually don't care. It's like I don't really care if I'm saying something wrong, a word I've never known before. I don't really mind. I'm not gonna judge myself for not knowing how to pronounce a word I've never heard before. That's just my personal bag. So I'm just showing this one briefly because it seems they're showing me pineal and pituitary glands. And they want me to talk about them again. Okay. How many here feel that you have your third eye open consistently? So not just every once in a while when you meditate? This channel is a free-flowing channel for my higher self, so it doesn't really have particular themes other than gentleness. Your third eye's open consistently. Okay. Who else? Gina? Okay, Gina and Jen. Of course you do, Brandy. I knew about you, Brandy. And Carissa. Okay, and Sammy. I'm gonna call you Sammy. Is that okay? Did I call you Sammy? Mine has felt stuck the last couple of years. Okay. If you're asking if your third eye is open, it's probably not open. You would definitely know. You would definitely know if your third eye is consistently open. Okay. So I didn't get too many yeses here. There's 27 in the group. We probably get about 10. I'm trying to figure out with my guides, like, are you trying to talk to the people that have it open or the people that don't? And they're saying both. Okay. Okay. So they're wanting me to explain anatomically the way that these are set up in your head, because a lot of us don't get it. So, and I'd also encourage all of you that resonate with what I'm about to channel, that when we're done here, go on Google or wherever you look up imagery, Google pineal gland and pituitary gland, give yourself a little visual of where these sit in your head, okay? But I'm going to explain it a little bit because some of you are confusing. This is what I'm receiving. So what they're showing me is that what's preventing some of you from opening your third eye. So I'm not talking to people that have the third eye open right now. I'm talking to people that don't. The people that don't, your third eye is the pineal gland. It's a tiny little acorn-shaped gland that sits pretty much in the center, very center. It's like your optic nerves go back, and then right after the optic nerve in the center of the brain, there is your pineal gland. That is your third eye. So that is when your third eye, your pineal gland, is active. You will see almost holographically with your eyes shut. Now with your eyes open, you will see energetically. But it is coming from this central location of the pineal gland, and it is not coming from an imaginary eye that you're going to form in your forehead. Okay? Because that's what they're showing me is for the people that don't have it open, you think it's like an eye right here. It's not. It's the center of your brain, your pineal gland. Now the pituitary gland, we're going to travel from that center pineal gland, go up a little bit, up this cavern. This is also for little fun fact for those of you that unveil this, but the pyramids, they're made and they're created and they flow energy very similar to what I am talking about right now. Some of you know what I'm saying. Some of you are like, what up? I don't know what you're saying. Go down that rabbit hole. But from the pineal gland, if you go up and back, some of you too, with the crown, you think it's like right here. You think your crown is right here on the top of your head. And yes, that's where we access it, but, in a visual, imaginary sense. But the pituitary gland is actually up that corridor and towards the back. Why are we saying this? Because it will help you holistically in your health. If you understand your adrenal glands, if you understand your glands, if you understand how the essence, the core essence energies, the spinal fluid, how this is all connecting itself. So some of you have heard of the land of milk and honey, how I'm just going to go through this very gently about Kundalini. So we have all of these energies at the base, these stirring energies up the base, okay, in the root. Some of you might be feeling energetically what I'm talking about. I don't know about the black tentacles, but so with the root energy, when we're allowing these masculine and feminine pathways that go up the body, when this energy, this Kundalini life force energy, moves up the system, it opens those. Okay? So it goes up and it opens these higher centers. We're explaining this way because some of you aren't accessing your third eye or your crown because you're only trying to access your third eye or your crown. And you're not really going to quite get there unless you work with the whole system. You got to start at the root. So, and thank you, Brandy. So we've talked about this a lot here, but if let's say you do have the third eye open and it's scary stuff, that's typically indicating to you. It could be a lot of varying things. I won't lie. It's never going to be like this one thing and one thing only. But most of the time, when you're seeing fearful things with your third eye, and again, it's in that center of the brain, remember, it's not the front, it's the center of the brain. We just kind of point here. But typically when you're seeing fearful things with the third eye, it is indicating to you that more clearing is needed in your root chakra. Because what it does is it kind of acts like a projector screen. So you can imagine if you have all these spheres down in the root, when the third eye opens, the third eye isn't going to open and see what's actually going on. The third eye is going to open and it's going to see the projector screen of your root chakra. Okay? And if you're ever removing, spirits from people, you're actually not. You're actually helping them heal soul fragments. That's what's going on there. You're not removing anything. You're helping them integrate soul fragments. That's what heals it. That's what clears the space. Because these demands, these things that we think are these bad things that are stuck to us or lingering with us, it's not. It could be a fear from, I don't know, eons ago. It could be a fear from eons ago that you had in your soul in every incarnation that you had, and you had this fear and this fear and this fear and this fear. That's possible. But it's not an external thing coming to get you, okay? We have to work with the individual. We have to work with the soul. Okay. And then 7 blessings of Blobby. We've got a Blobby fan. Welcome to the club. What are they looking like right now on the Schumann? Just auras still? Is it little lines? Where are we at? Okay, so 7 blessings of Eve. Let me see. That's not quite the message. I think we're done with the Alana Fairchild deck. Let's move for the second portion of the reading to a different seating position for me and a different deck. Go Hawks. It's getting super cold where I live. I'm not in Iowa, Illinois, but it's cold here. Okay. Nope. They really want to come out. Do you see how fast that popped? Ooh. I'm sweating, so I don't know what's going to come through me, but I'm sweating quite profusely. Let's do some sage and then some cards. I actually really want to take the sweatshirt off. I'm going to take the sweatshirt off. So everyone just behave. I'm going to be watching the comments. Bum 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 da na 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 da na 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 na. We're back, and this time in Texas. I was just gonna say that I only have been to Texas, I think once. And it was like when I was still working in the corporate world. And I just remember being so scared driving around Texas. Because, yeah, I'll just share this to get myself grounded. I guess I'm sharing this story to get... Sometimes I share stories to get myself grounded. My guides are telling me this is why. The ramps in Texas are like nothing. They're like 3 feet. And you have to like go from driving like 10 miles an hour to driving like in the speed limit's higher. It's like 80 or something. I just remember being terrified. This was like in my 20s. And I was working in the corporate world, and I just remember being scared of the roads. Anywho. I remember it being so hot. It wasn't that hot when I was there. Okay, Star Brothers. Horus energy. We're getting a lot of protection energy today. You know what I'm talking about. It's wild. It's like, what? Shouldn't they be longer? Give me some time here. Okay, so Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. And then inner earth is showing to me. I'm getting something about dragons right now. Hold on. Damn. Just getting the mild message that inner earth is really waking up. But that's kind of a sidebar. The message here is this one. Okay. Let's read it. Star Brother. I'm going to laugh without smiling really quick before I read this. Because my ego hates it and I want to embarrass her. Just kidding. Wait, I'm going to laugh without smiling. Okay, we're back. There's this one funny girl on Instagram that I follow, and she does like really hilarious videos, and I don't know. Anywho, can you guys feel just how much has shifted? So much has shifted in the last month. It's terrifying. Good. Pattern interrupt. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. You're more protected than you can imagine. So I know that we got real scared just now because of the laughing and the and we're all like, ee, ooh, ah. Let's hear this now. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. So I'm seeing like a lot of untapped spirit guides in all of your fields. If you sense that, say, hey, hello. Hello, guides. Through ancestral parenting, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. Anyone? We've learned that we need to go at life alone. That it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open. That the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them. So some of you will want to actually symbolically do this, is maybe pull the fears out of your body or your chakras and just hand them to the Star Brothers and say, thank you. This has been burdening me for a long time. Thank you. To see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you ever can imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. Kevin, that is such a weird and kind of disgusting question to ask in my space. And the question here for the collective, like, shame on you. Kevin, you are gone. Never come back. Yuck. I guess this served me right for showing up on Thanksgiving. after Thanksgiving. Okay, we're gonna get back to it. Yeah, for real. It's such, I know we have really honorable, respectful men in this space. I can feel you. And thank you for holding this template, because there's a lot of men, I'm sure, that you know that are acting like that guy that just popped in here like that. Don't do this to people. Demon Friday, right? But really, do I really want to call out? I'm going to do this for a second. First, to say, how can you open yourself up to receiving more support? A lot of us really need to move through that part of the message. How can you open up to receiving more support? And then what I want to say to the men in the space is just because you see a lot of men in the world acting like fools, acting like that guy that popped in here, and being really disrespectful to women, I just want to thank you and honor you for not going with the crowd. Okay? Because both men and women alike, we have a lot of examples in the world of what not to be. Okay? And sometimes we grow up with a lot more examples in the world of what not to be than what to be. So the message here is just, when someone does violate your boundaries, you set it even firmer. You probably will need to eventually, if you're anything like me, you're going to attract people that think that they can say whatever they want. Because of design, because I want people to be able to feel safe to be themselves. But when we do this and we set this environment up for the people that may come into our life, it also will require us to have a backbone. And it'll require us to be sturdy and strong, and to say, I will not tolerate this. I will not tolerate this. Okay? And let me see. I'm not super offended, but I am like, just kind of like, wake up, world. Like, stop this. This is such dumb stuff. What? You could have just had a major energetic shift. But instead you chose to say something rude, you know? But these people are not in the comments anymore, so I won't speak to them or give them any more of energy. Okay, I'm going to light sage. And then I want to bring through a little bit of light language, because I want to start doing that more. Who here took in my transmission on YouTube? That's called 3i Atlas and the Monad? Yeah, I agree. Distractions are everywhere. And there are some men and childs in the world. They're still figuring it out. Okay, so we have some people. If you haven't taken it in yet, that's okay. That'll be the other part of this. So if you did take it in, then this will kind of just like be the sprinkle on top. But if you didn't, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday's. Yeah, I channeled it yesterday morning. It was pretty powerful for me. I really trance channeled it, so I only remember a little bit. But they talked a lot about they keep talking a lot. Thank you, Stephen. Or Stefan. Stefan? No worries, Anko, that it's there for you whenever you want to hit it up. You watched it twice? I listened to it twice. I don't really watch my videos, I only listen to the channeled portions. So the big theme that keeps coming up in my channelings is the 12 and the 13. The 12 and the 13. The 12. So we're very familiar with the 12 dimensions. But what keeps coming in, what keeps coming in, what keeps coming in is this 13, the 13, the 13. And Jen, no worries. Divine timing. I trust that everything is going to be gotten to in the exact right divine timing. Okay, I'm going to do it a little bit different. So this is going to be a little bit of a piggyback. A piggyback to, oh, it's like already coming in, so I get a little bit floaty when the light language comes in. Last week, I guess we did a light language activation. Is this true? Yes, we must have. We did? All right. So we did. And this week is going to be like a little bit of a, this is what my guides are showing me. They're showing me that each week I'm going to bring through a little bit of light language, and it'll act as kind of like, they're showing me salons. This is so funny. It's going to be kind of like you're going to the salon every week to like get your hair fixed up, only it's not your hair getting fixed up, it's your light language getting fixed up. It's like getting a little spruce up, a little hello, a little love. So we're going to do that now. If you're going to stay, please no driving or operating light language. If that's not right. No, I hope you'll be operating some light language. No driving or operating. I can't. Whew. It's like funny guides too. They're very like playful. No driving or operating machinery. Just settle in. Allow yourself to receive this. Breathe deeply. No heavy equipment. And let's just call on our, we're calling on our direct source connection, each one of us individually, first and foremost. So just sense your pillar of light. Sense your pillar of light. And then just allow this light language to do any fine tuning in the chakra system that is needed to bring through loving light language with ease. A lot of stuff in the back of the throat and the back of the higher heart that's going to be cleared out. Very ancient. You're safe to let go of these fears. You're safe to connect. You're safe to have soulful connections with other beings, other people, even animals, plants. You're safe to let yourself be vulnerable with others. You're safe to be vulnerable and be observed. You're safe to embody your authentic self. You're safe to let go of other people's perceptions. You're safe to open your heart. You are safe to open your heart. You are safe to be in a group of souls that all have their heart open. This is safe. Some of you will want to give yourself a hug. Just a gentle, give yourself a little hug. Yeah. You're safe to communicate. Okay. You're safe to be selective in who you communicate with and how you communicate. Sensing the star grandmothers. And the Star Brothers. They're showing me a group of potentially us. I don't know. They're showing me a group of people, and they're all holding hands, and it's like man, woman, woman, man, man, man. It's like a very kind of random selection, I'll say, and pattern of people, but they're all holding hands. And they all have hearts open. And they're all safe. They're all feeling safe to bind together as one. They don't... They're showing me this group, and they're showing me no one's like got the ick about holding someone else's hand, or got the ick about being in this like love nest of people that's singing and dancing and being playful and jubilant and childlike even. And my guides are showing me right now that's part of the reason why we join here, is so that we can see, feel, experience, and be part of what it's like to have a unified field. To have a group of souls that comes together, and each soul is allowing the other soul and the other souls to be exactly as they are. There's no force. There's no one person in the group wanting another person in the group to be different. It is complete acceptance and unification. And all of your energy is returning to you. My energy to me. I'm just going to take a moment to ground. Allow all yourselves a moment to ground. Allow yourselves to have just a moment to let go of that loneliness just for a moment. Let yourself feel supported. Let yourself feel less alone. And then for those of you that may have had light language activate today, for the first time, just set the intention that you bring it through for the highest and best good of all. Yes, and Debbie, if you come anytime, you'll see that there's a very, very beautiful group of loving beings that come to this space and that will support you and hold you and witness you and not judge you. And of course, it's the closing message here of we have this balance about ourselves. We can be gentle, we can be loving, we can serve, but we also must carry our cloak of protection that says what we will and will not allow within our space. So it's not about that when you have to block someone or go no contact or whatever this is, when that occurs, you are simply creating the boundary so that you can be your full self. And you're expressing to the other beings what you will and will not tolerate. If they respect it, then they respect it. That's great. If they don't, that's fine. Then you just put up the barrier and let it be. So be sure to hydrate. This was a pretty powerful session, even though it was one of the more casual ones. And those of you that got something out of that light language, but you're like, there's more. There's more. There's something more. Check out the 3-Eye Atlas and the Monad video on my YouTube. It's the latest one. That was channeled. So it's a pretty powerful healing. Even though it's a channeled messages will also serve as healers as well. Thank you for being present with the YouTubes. They're always, they're co-weaved. Because, I'm basically getting tuned in and then I'm tuning in from the Akashic Records and it's anyone that would watch it. I can sense you in the future watching it and then it kind of flows from there. So just so you know, you are part of that fabric. If you're going to those spaces, you're doing some weaving as well. You're liking it up right now. Kind of a rush. Yeah, it can be. Light language can be a lot of things. It can be everything. They are timeless transmissions. So I'm going to close it here so I don't get kicked out today. But I hope that you all enjoyed this. It was a mixed textile experience. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Enjoy the weekend. Hydrate. Take care of yourselves. Set boundaries where you need to. And know that you're safe to just be you. Plain and simple. You don't have to work hard to be you. You are you. Just be you. Just let it flow. All right, let's close with a deep breath together. Deep breath in. And namaste. Together. Deep breath in. And namaste.